Hey, what is up to all your manga loving faces? It's your boy Shonen Caesar with another video for you guys this week. This time, we got ourselves a manga reading log. I've been wanting to do one of these for a while and just never got around to it. And it's actually one of my favorite videos to watch on MangaTube. So here's my attempt at making it just as entertaining as everybody else's are to me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the first volume I read this month. And that is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 15. Guys, Jujutsu Kaisen, I say it all the time, is one of my favorite ongoing shonen. I read the volume the moment I receive it, and this was no exception. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat spoiler-free. I do want to show you guys some panels and stuff, but it's going to be pretty hard because this volume was full, and I mean packed full of twists, fights, so much exceeding the plot. I mean, there was so much going on in this freaking volume. And it starts off with a bang. I nearly cried reading the beginning of this volume because one of our favorite characters get kind of messed up. Throughout the volume, we kind of see a lot of the I believe it's the Tokyo school Jujutsu hunters. We see a couple of those guys coming in and out of here. We got another great double team fight with Yuji and Todo. Such a great freaking duo. I love them. I can't love them enough. I fell in love with Todo with his introduction. Like when he sees Megumi and he immediately asks him what kind of girls he's into, and he says he's into girls like Jennifer Lawrence. I'm with him, man. I am with him. Jennifer Lawrence is one of my heartthrobs, but this was an incredible volume. So much action, so much story, and like I said, it starts off with a bang. Like, this volume hurts off the rip. But if you guys have read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, get on it. I really do not want to spoil it because I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know anything else to say other than that. But it was such a great volume. I freaking loved it. Jujutsu Kaisen is such a fun read for me every single time I get the volume. And just like that series, this one's coming to an end close. Wow. This one's coming to an end soon. It's coming to a close soon. Can't freaking talk, man. And you probably know what I'm talking about. It's Chainsaw Man Volume 10. And other series that I read the moment I receive it. I don't care what time of day it is. I'll be up late reading these volumes. And if you guys keep up with my shorts, you saw I had a very big evening reading goal. Like, I had like 6 volumes that I was trying to read within a couple of hours, but the only ones I could get through were Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. And both of these volumes hurt. Another one where off the rip something heartbreaking happens, and I didn't know how to take it. I'm trying not to show too much, but yeah, I didn't know how to take it. If you guys read this volume, you know what I'm talking about. Chainsaw Man every time has something happening. Every freaking time there's something going on with Chainsaw Man. I don't want to show too much because Chainsaw Man is hard to stay out of spoiler territory. Tatsuki Fujimoto like packs so much information and so much stuff into one volume that sometimes I have to go back and read the previous volume to remember what happened so that I'm no longer lost on the current volume. With Volume 9, there's a lot that happened in that volume as well, but I was able to just kind of skim through and remember, and then I jumped straight into Volume 10. Such an amazing series. This is the penultimate volume. Next volume, which is Volume 11, coming out in June, will be the final volume. And I'm super curious to see how he closes this out. And I cannot wait for Chainsaw Man Part 2. I don't know when we're getting that or when it's going to start. But I know it's been announced. And I know there's no way we're not going to get it in the States, considering the popularity of Chainsaw Man in the States currently. But those are some of my favorite reads every time a volume comes out. And just like those, I read a lot of my favorite reads. Like, Shonen Jump has so many titles that I absolutely freaking love. And this one is no exception. It just comes out much slower than the other two. And that is Spy Family. This is Volume 7. I absolutely love these releases. I love the covers. I love the color of the volume, like this metallic kind of blue-green. Like I mean, it's kind of like green, but I feel like there's some blue tones in there as well. But I love this series. This volume was another fantastic volume. We got to know a little more about Damien Desmond. We kind of see his father interact with Floyd for the first time. Or am I tripping? Is his name Floyd? No, Lloyd. Oh gosh. Where my mind at? Where is my mind at? He gets introduced to Lloyd. We see a little more Bond's adventures. It is a great series nonetheless. Like, I can't say enough good things about this. It has a very good mixture of great characters, a good plot. There is very good action every once in a while. Volume 6 was actually one of my favorite volumes of the series, which kind of dips into its like sport manga side of it, and it was only for that one volume. There's not really much sporting going on in this, but it is such a great volume, so much fun. If you guys aren't reading, this is one of my favorite panels right here, and I don't know why. If you guys aren't reading Spy Family, you definitely need to get on it. The anime has just started recently. I haven't watched it personally because I like to consume the manga more than anime, and I'm waiting for it to build up a couple more episodes so I can binge it. But I love Spy Family. It is such a good read. You guys need to get on it if you haven't already. Alright, and next one here, it's a single volume. Next volume comes out, I believe, in June, and I don't know how long this run's going to be. And that is Deadpool Samurai, Volume 1. I was pretty excited for this, to be honest with you, and I was a little underwhelmed. I'm a big fan of the Deadpool character in Marvel Comics. I haven't read a lot of his comics, which I guess would play a bit into my opinion on this one if I had. But I am a huge fan of the Deadpool character. And every game he's ever been in, I loved it. I loved the Deadpool game. I love the Deadpool movies. Any animated movie that has Deadpool is always super fun for me. And this was no less, but the story, in my opinion, is lacking. It's Deadpool. Like, you guys are buying this for Deadpool, and it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very reliant on that. Like, it kind of knows that you're here for Deadpool, and it's very, very much a Deadpool manga. He acts the same way he would in the Deadpool comics. He's just a little more censored, but he's breaking the third wall, talking to the audience. And the story, like I said, it's just a little lackluster. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on for. Volume 2, I know, is not its final volume, so we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, it's pretty fun, and I love that right there. Deadpool as Tanjiro, and, man, I'm having a brain fart. Somebody help me here. And Nezuko from Demon Slayer. I believe the main villain that's going to be of the story is going to be Loki. He does make a couple appearances in here throughout this volume. And then there's another really big villain that isn't Venom here that makes an appearance in this volume towards the end. That I won't spoil. Like, it's a fun read. You like Deadpool, you'll have fun with this. Just don't expect too much from it. Buy it for Deadpool. I went into it with a little too much. Too high of an expectation and was a little let down, but it is a fun read nonetheless. Now, on to my next one. A very highly anticipated volume for me. I have been waiting for over a year for this thing to come out, ever since I heard it was going to be released physically, and that is Sakamoto Days. I absolutely love Sakamoto Days. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about it, but my buddy got into the Shonen Jump app, started reading it, put me on it, and I read the first 16 chapters until March of last year and stopped reading it because I heard it was going to get a physical release, and I much rather read manga physically. I cannot preach that anymore. I really, really like to read my manga physically. I can't say it enough. So I waited a whole year after I heard about it to read this physically, and I am not disappointed. I nearly completely forgot about what happens in this volume, so this whole volume was pretty fresh for me. I enjoyed it all the same. And it's about this hitman by the name of Sakamoto, who retires and takes a vow away from killing, even though you kind of see him nearly killing somebody here. He takes a vow not to kill people, and he runs his own convenience store. And this gentleman here, I think his name is Shin. I could be wrong. Let's find it. No, I'm thinking of someone else. Am I? No, he's Shin. Okay, cool. So his name is Shin, and he's clairvoyant. And the reason why you see Sakamoto kill people throughout the manga is because he's seeing Sakamoto's thoughts. And Sakamoto's just thinking about violently killing people. But he never does. The series does a really good job of balancing really, really outlandish and crazy fight scenes with comedy. The characters are great. The fight scenes are incredible. I freaking love them. And Sakamoto plays no freaking games, guys. This is such a fun read. If you guys are into, you know, I wouldn't say like basic shonen, but you're into that shonen-esque manga where you like your comedy, you like your action, this is definitely for you. And this is one of my favorite panels here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, man. These bus jackers are about to ram a bus into Shueisha's building, I believe. The people know how traumatic it is when your favorite manga gets canceled. Where we're going to crash this bus into Shuhei, in the Shuhei building. I thought it was so funny. This shit was great. And it was because me and my buddy were talking about how he was very sad that Siren got canceled back in the day. And I was like, you know what? I mean, that's some crazy stuff people would do, I guess. But it's such a fun read. I loved it. I can't say enough good things about it. Guys, get Volume 1. Volume 2 is coming out, I believe, next month. So in June as well. I think so. It could be coming out this month. I don't know. I'll have to keep up with it. But it's coming out soon. It's such a fun read. I honestly believe you guys will thoroughly enjoy it. At least a majority of you guys will. Alright. Next up, we have a fairly controversial series. A lot of people are very high on it, and a lot of people really do not want to like it. I feel like it's because of how popular it is. And that is Kaiju No. 8. This month I read Volumes 1 and Volumes 2. I read Volume 1 back when I first got it. I can't even remember when I got it. But I read it back then, and I kind of forgot what happened in this volume, so I went ahead and reread it before I read Volume 2. And I'm so glad I did, because I could barely remember some of the most vital things that was happening. So this story is about, I believe the main character is 33, and I can't remember his freaking name. The main character is 33. He's an older gentleman who had ambitions to join I think it's called like the Kaiju Defense Force or something like that. Or, man, see, I'm so bad. This is why I reread volumes. My memory is so bad. He had ambitions of joining the Kaiju Defense Force or whatever it's called. Japan Defense Force. So close. I was one word off. He had ambitions of joining. I keep saying the same thing. And him and his friend did. His childhood friend. And his childhood friend made it, but he gave up at a certain point for some reason. We haven't found out why yet. I think I have an idea, because it does show us a panel of him with his friend during a kaiju battle. And the kaiju is like this big, dark dragon, and it looks so dope. But I think that's what turned his mind, or changed his mind on joining the Defense Force. But as you can see, I believe I just showed it here. It's not really much spoiler territory. After he's in the hospital during a kaiju attack, this little kaiju takes over his body and turns him into a kaiju. Like, to me, it's one of my favorite tropes in shonen manga. Really, in any manga, like Tokyo Ghoul with Kaneki turning into a ghoul. I loved that. I loved Tokyo Ghoul. Attack on Titan with Eren becoming a Titan. Love that trope. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's one of my favorite tropes of you become the enemy and you use your newfound power to fight the enemy. And this volume was amazing. It ends with him basically in the training arc for the most part. Like, that's what this whole volume is. And Volume 2 is towards the end of it. I don't want to show too much here, but some crazy stuff happens after that training arc. It's just such a good freaking series to me. The art is incredible. I can't get over the art. There's barely any blank space. Like, I don't think this mangaka likes blank space. Like, you see it only when he needs it, when he needs the face to be the center of attention. But the action is incredible. The paneling is great. I'll have to go to volume 1 real quick to show you guys one of my favorite panels, to show you guys why I love the paneling so much. It's just, I can't say enough good things about it. That's the problem. And people hate on it, but it's just so many like typical shonen tropes that I just love about shonen. I love me battle shonen. I am a shonen stan, hence why I have the name Shonen Caesar. Like, I cannot get enough of battle shonen manga specifically. Where is it? Here it is. That panel right there, I love it. Showing her steps through assaulting this kaiju with this assault weapon, I guess we'll call it, vaulting over the jeep as she continues to shoot and just rip this thing apart and just moves on. That girl is such a freaking badass. But like I said, I can't say enough good things about the series. I freaking love it. If you guys aren't reading it, definitely give it a shot. I know a lot of people are like taking a crap on it because it's just basic shonen trash to a lot of people. And a lot of people kind of hate it only because it's super popular and everyone's talking about it. But I mean, I'm easy to please. I don't know what to tell you, and it's so up my alley. It's crazy. Now we'll start with how do I put this? I talked about it in my reading log. I mean, in my haul this week. It's a rom-com, and I don't typically read a lot of rom-com. I do have some rom-com in my collection, very, very select few, but this one very much sold me on rom-com altogether, and I read all 7 volumes of what's currently out, and that is Call of the Night. Now, I'll let you guys know a little trope that I'm super into, and I don't know why, but I'm super into vampire stories. Super into vampire stories. I really, 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 really badly want to get Rosario Vampire. I don't know much about it, but it's a vampire story from Shonen Jump Advance. There's a lot of like vampire shoujo out there that I kind of want to get into. I'm not sure if I will, because shoujo is something else. Shoujo is really hard for me to get into. Happiness is another series. It's a vampire series that I did enjoy when I did read it back in the day. And what else? Seraph of the End. That is a series that I'm currently collecting. Only missing 1 volume before I can read it, but like I said, I love vampire stories, and this one was no exception. It's definitely a rom-com through and through. It is very cute in my opinion. It's very different in my opinion, considering I haven't read a lot of rom-coms. But it follows a kid by the name of Ko, who has insomnia and roams the night. He hasn't done it before. He just, off a whim, he decides to start roaming the night, and he ends up running into a vampire. This girl right here, her name is Nazuna Nanakusa. Her name is pretty weird, but she's a vampire, and she shows him how to enjoy the night, and that's what they do every evening. He sneaks out, doesn't go to school. He skips school so he can sleep all day, and goes out during the night so that he can hang out with Nazuna. And these volumes, the more you read, the more they dive deep into the vampire's culture, I guess you could say. Like, volume 3 dives very deep into the vampire politics, or what they believe in, how they run things for the most part, how do people get turned, all that kind of stuff. And I loved it. I was super sold after volume 3 and could not stop, and I mean could not stop reading this freaking series as I was going on, because I was just getting more tidbits of information that kept made me want more and more and more, and I just kept reading and reading and reading. I actually just finished volume 7 earlier today before I even started filming, and loved it just as much. Guys, it's such a good series, such a cute little wholesome rom-com. Ko is a funny character. He's not like your typical knucklehead male protagonist in rom-com. He's a pretty smart kid. He actually excelled in school before he stopped going. Crap, brain fart. Nazuna, the female vampire here, is I love her for her comedic relief. She knows that Ko has never had a girlfriend, so she says some of the most randomest things to just get him all kinds of flustered, and I love her. She's just the comedic relief of this series, and it's such a fun, cute rom-com that, like I said, I typically wouldn't be into, but this series definitely did it for me. So if you guys aren't reading Call of the Night, get on it. It is so fun. If you guys are really into rom-coms, I know my buddy is. He is like a rom-com stan. He's the same guy that got me on Comey. I got him on this, and I can't wait for him to start, because it takes a lot for me to really sit down and enjoy a rom-com. And the fact that this one did it for me is amazing to me. I'll just put it that way. Now, to show you guys the final series that I was reading this month. I read a lot of it. I started it and could not stop it. I hinted at it in my haul video, but I read literally everything I had left of it this month, and that is Attack on Titan. Guys, dudettes, everyone, all you people watching, all your manga loving faces, need to get on some Attack on Titan. I cannot express how much I absolutely loved this read, and loved is like an understatement for me. Every time I kept talking about the series, I would tell people that I've been enchanted by this series, that I've been cultivated by this series. Like, I could not stop myself from reading this, even if I freaking tried. And it's so good, especially this fight with the Armored Titan and Eren Yeager. Oh, gosh. So let me give you guys a bit of a backstory. I read the first 10 volumes of the series back in February, and I gave myself a little time away from it so that I could read other things. And then just off of a whim, I decided, you know what, I want to read Volume 11. And I went ahead and read Volume 11. And I could not stop myself from reading even more. And that's that volume here. How do I stay out of spoiler territory with this? I read Volumes 1 to 34 all within the past 2-3 weeks. If that tells you anything about how much I enjoyed this freaking read. I could not stop myself. And I mean, could not. I can't express it anymore. Could not stop myself. I have commitments to read another series for a video, and I have yet to even start it. I will probably start this evening, all because I have been super invested in Attack on Titan. And I want to start a conversation in the comment section. I know a lot of people really dislike the ending of the series. And I mean really dislike the ending of the series. And I want to know why. Really. Because I absolutely loved this series. I had so much fun reading this series. And the ending actually made me freaking cry. The last couple volumes kind of was tugging on some heartstrings. We see a lot of characters that we've been in love with. Go through a lot of hard trials. As the series goes on, it has no problem killing off some of your favorite characters. And I was able to hold myself from being a little baby up until the final volume. And as you can see, I got the Books A Million exclusive cover. I actually really like this cover. And I see why now people are talking about this cover does not fit with the ending of the series, and it really doesn't. And it's, I mean, there's like people were talking about there's a lot of plot holes. Sure, I was able to just kind of turn my brain off and read through the entire series and enjoy it nonetheless. And I'm so glad I was able to do that, because after talking with a couple people in my Discord, my friend's Discord, I'll once again link in the description. Xbox Gut, he is a amazing creator. He uploads way more than I freaking do. But his Discord is a lot of freaking fun to just talk and chat about manga. And after I completed it, I actually asked these people what they thought about it, and people were talking about how there's plot holes. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. And like I said, I'm just so glad I was able to just turn my brain off and enjoy it, regardless of what these issues were, because this is going to be a hot take. This is in my top 3. after finally completing the series, this series is in my top 3. Volume 23 blew me away. After the time skip that happens in the series, there's just so much information to take in and digest. I can't say enough good things about Attack on Titan. It's in my top 3, and it's in this order. It is Berserk number 1, Vinland Saga number 2, and Attack on Titan number 3. I loved this series so freaking much, and like I said, I can't say enough about it. If you guys haven't read Attack on Titan, please get on it. And the people that have read Attack on Titan, please, in the comment section below, let me know what you didn't like about it. What is the issues that you have with it, so I can look at this series from a different light, and be a little more informed as to what exactly it was, because I blew through this. I really didn't see any problems with it. Some of it was kind of confusing, sure, but I was able to kind of like grasp my thoughts after a while. But I just loved it so much. So like I said, in the comment section, please let me know what you guys thought about this series and what your issues with it are. So, man, that was it. That was the reading log. I read a total, I believe, of 39 volumes of manga this month. Yeah, 38. I want to read much more. I do read quite a bit already, but 38 isn't bad. It's a little more than a volume a day, which is kind of the least I want to do. Like, if I can't get myself a lot of time to read, I at least want to read 1 volume a day. So, man, it was such a good month for manga. We had, like I said, I read all the Attack on Titan. I read all current 7 volumes that are out of Call of the Night. Read some good shonen battle shonen. Some shonen ass shonen with Kaiju number 8. Sakamoto Days Volume 1. Deadpool Samurai Volume 1. Spy Family Volume 7. Guys, once again, super good. Get on it. The penultimate volume of Chainsaw Man. So much happens. Like I said, try to stay out of spoiler territory with this video. But it was such a good read. And Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 15. Another amazing volume. So, man, that's it for me. Guys, without further ado, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's have a discussion about Attack on Titan in the comment section. I am so interested to hear your takes, your thoughts, your input. I really do want to see what is it that you guys don't like. Help me see this manga in a different light. All right? So, you guys, I don't know what else to say. You guys have an amazing day. It's your boy Shonen Caesar out. Peace.